What's happening, people? We're back here once again on CubCamTV for another edition of CubReacts. Now, today, we're doing something a little bit different. We're not jumping into something brand new. We are jumping into a track that has been heavily requested on the channel. This one does come from Alkaline. We're doing a lot of Alkaline tunes at the moment because he's releasing a lot of music, and therefore, we're getting a lot of requests. So, we're going to get into this one today. Goes by the name of Nuh Wife. We're going to get into it in just a second. Before that, though, if you aren't already subscribed, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button at the bottom of the page, turning notifications on, all of that good stuff, and of course, following on Instagram as well at KXVU on all social media platforms. Get involved, and remember, there will be a lot of cuts and pauses during this video. This is because YouTube does not allow us to upload the full clips without blocking them. They just get blocked instantaneously. So if you want to check out the full unedited versions of these clips, please do head over to patreon.com/CubCamTV. Get involved. All of the full-length videos are available on that platform. So there we go. Let's get into this one right about now. Sounds of Alkaline. Oh yes. That's such a funny way to intro the tune. Just go, fucking hell. It just sounds like he's from the north of England. Very kind of fluttery intro as well. Those sort of synths, very almost harp-like in the way they're put together. Very kind of plucked string, very kind of throwbacky in the way they're put together. Really interesting. I'm looking forward to hearing this tune because it's been so heavily requested. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully. You know what, already, those pan pipes in the background, they're really subtle, but they've already added this really nice texture to the tune as a whole. I think as well, it's not what I would describe as a dancehall or a bashment sounding tune. It's got a lot more kind of American hip-hop R&B influence to it. Again, I get a real kind of reminder of early T-Pain sort of styles in the way the sort of flow patterns work, in the sort of rhythms that are being used, in the ups and downs that are being brought to it as well. And again, it's Alkaline showing his versatility. I mean, this came out about a month ago, so I'm a little bit behind with it, but it's still an absolute banger. I think I actually missed it when it landed.
And she a tell me say she love me so much. She a tell me say she love me so much. Yeah, she a tell me say she love me.
I love that Alkaline does that, man. That sort of scatting almost up and down the sort of melodic scales that he brings. That sort of it's almost like if you were a jazz musician in a jazz band, you do a lot of that kind of scale riding. You'd just be going up and down scales. And I think Alkaline does that very well with his vocal tone as well. The overall feel of the tune's quite nice. As I said, it's got a lot of sort of those R&B influences to it, more so than a sort of classic dancehall or bashment sounding tune. Those pan pipes in the background are really cleverly being really cleverly deployed, I think is a good way of putting it, because they just kind of toot away. Like, they're not really intrusive in any way, unless you're listening for them. You're not necessarily going to notice them as well, but they just kind of go like do 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 do, similar to what a chord sound would normally do in a bashment or a dancehall tune. Instead, Alkaline's got pan pipes in the background, so it kind of flips a traditional bashment sort of arrangement on its head, and that's why it doesn't sound so typically kind of Jamaican, I'd say Jamaican dancehall or Jamaican bashment in the way it's been put together. It does have a lot more of an Americanized feel to it. It's the way Alkaline does it, man. He has a really good way of utilizing a very good handling of breath control to almost add different levels of energy to different parts of the tune. Like the way he projects, it's so individual, and I've said this on a lot of his tunes recently, but he has this ability to just it's really difficult to describe. He can inject different levels of energy to different parts of tunes through the flow patterns and through the projection he uses, and it's why his tunes seem to always have such an up and down journey around them, and it's why I always want them to be quite expansive, because we're going to get fed so much over the course of 3 minutes when he does that. Again, we're hearing those little melodies in the background as well, that sort of do sort of, I don't know if it's an organ or a piano, it's some sort of key instrument, but the way that's kind of layered in over the top as well, as I said, it just makes the tune progress. It adds an extra layer to it. It makes it sound like it's moving forward. We're hearing the story of the instrumental behind, with Alkaline supplying the vocal fire on top. So again, it's a really good marriage of Alkaline's vocal and instrumental, and I think as well Alkaline has such a good ear or at least his management does, or whoever is in charge of the sort of musical side of things. He has a really good ear. Well, they have a really good ear for finding a tune which Alkaline is going to be able to excel over. And I think this is a really good example of that, despite the fact it's not in that sort of typical bashment dancehall zone. There's something actually quite hypnotic on this tune about the way those melodies kind of go up and down with the panpipes going down in the background. So there seems to be so much kind of up and down with everything. There isn't sort of like a set pattern. Everything's going up, everything's going down, everything's going up, everything's going up and down musically, and it's kind of encapsulating. It drags you in. It pulls you almost into like a tundra of the way the tune's been put together. Really, really cool compositional value on it, I've got to say.
Reason for the ends and every dog I say she impress him. Hook you to me chorus, toxic love, addict, no heroin. Fuck the heavy, no.
The panpipes sort of dropping back in over the top as well. This is really, really cleverly put together. I think, again, it's Alkaline showing just how good he is vocally. That ability to kind of skit and jump around and move and put different sort of syllabic patterns together, and it still sounds like it's meant to be there. I think that's the most important thing. Nothing ever sounds out of place with an Alkaline tune. Everything sounds like it was designed to be there from the start, which is a difficult thing to do. You're instantaneously convinced that he's doing the right thing with the tune. Again, that's a skill and a talent at the same time. And we're just hearing, again, that little sort of break at the start of this block where we just hear no drum, and then suddenly the drums return with that sort of that pan flute sound as well. And it's a catchy hook as well. Like, we haven't really spoken much about the hook so far. I've been more kind of wanting to see how the tune progresses and where it goes, but the hook overall is really, really smooth. It has got a bit more of a sort of expansive vocal than the rest of the tune as well, and I think that's Alkaline just kind of going, look, this is what hook is supposed to sound like. And we've said it, I see it in the comments of a lot of videos as well. Alkaline is one of the best people for hooks in the world currently, and the way he's putting music out at the moment, I don't think it's really deniable. But yeah, I think that is like the final kind of cherry on the top of the cake for this tune. All right then, there we go, a nice bit of instrumental to round the tune off. I'm a fan of this one, I've got to say, even though, as I've said numerous times, it's not in that sort of classic, sort of typical dancehall bashment bracket. It's definitely Alkaline showing just how good he is, and how versatile he is as well, both vocally and in the sort of soundscapes he's able to inhabit. Really, really good display again. Apologies for missing this one the first time around, and out to everyone telling me to review this one. It's the most requested thing on the channel currently, so hopefully you guys do enjoy. Let us know if you are feeling the reaction to this one, and of course, do go and check out the Patreon as well if you want to check out the full-length clips. That is patreon.com/CubCamTV. Make sure you're following on Instagram as well, at KXVU on all social media, and of course you can make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Get involved, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, leave a like and a comment, and we shall see you all next time. Peace.